Hi, welcome to another video of my pneumatic hand with robotic arm. And last time I tried to get a motor running such that the arm, the base of the arm, can turn around, pivot as it is, by this motor. However, it turned out that this, despite the first attempts were good, new attempts were a little bit shaky, and I hope the demonstration will go exactly as last time. And of course that won't happen. And there you see quite a bit of resistance, and I have to really press the motor against the pivot gear so it works, because otherwise you get one direction this, and the second direction it is really not quite working. So as a result I need to make it a stronger base of the motor. Another thought was to add another motor, quite like this one, but I don't think that is the solution. It can be tried, of course, and then I think it should be done otherwise, perpendicular to the gear instead of half on it. And I think I actually should try to put this motor perpendicular, so that I can see if that indeed also can solve the problem. And with that said, let me just try it right now. First removing the motor from here. So this is step one. The question is, should I put it here or here? And I think I should put it here. That would be easier. Although it will be then straight under this, although the whole gear turns around, of course. So let us just put it right in the middle, or more or less in the middle in this case. Let's just put it here and hope that that works. And it's quite an effort to get it there. So and now see how the motor works out, and then I have a problem, because when I put it now here, it is straight under this sensor, the lower gear sensor. And that can not be correct. So when it turns around, I do it for 3 seconds. Let's see, end of the code. It looked like, yeah, 3 seconds. And that is just far enough that it doesn't touch this lower sensor. So with, let's assume the arm will just go like this. I can also put it on the other way. However, that collides with the tubes, the pneumatic tubes. So I guess I'm bound to put the motor here. So yeah, let's do that. So let's try to get the motor on this spot. That will be quite a challenge. Because it's not easy in the first place to get it in here. Okay, that is one. That is two. Now I hope that it works out. What I can do is like this. And just slide it on. And now you see a difference because of this. There's a little problem already. So I have to put this like this, and then I hope to slide it on. Let's see if this works out. The height is correct, but it isn't. So that is going to be a challenge, and I need to put this one here. It is going to be tough. Okay, this is asking for another approach. And I think I know which approach. because I'm taking now this part, slide it in, and taking this notch which you have seen before and slide it right in here, and then it might fit. So for now I slide this on here, and then it doesn't matter which side goes up here. Oops. So now it is perpendicular to the whole system, or almost perpendicular, but let's try anyway. This works a lot better. You see, it still shifts this way and that way, but it doesn't rattle anymore. So that's quite an improvement. And the only thing that I do here is this gear. So let me see how that works out when I just press this. And now you see it stops. And then that stops, and I have to so this is also a little bit flaky. So with this new situation there is a little bit of a problem, as you can see, and of course things don't go exactly the way I expected to go. So the point is that I have to manually assist the whole situation. And now you can see here the gear, and it stops right before the sensor, and a slow pressing helps. Now the pivot is going. Ouch. Ooh, and it is blazing hot. That is not good. This is very hot. This isn't, but this is. So this is not good. I put it good in. I have to really assist, but this motor is very hot. And let me see how this works out. It shifts very easily. That should not be such a problem. Now it really turns further. So that is a problem as well. Yeah. I pull the weight down a little, but that is not a solution. And now it turns further, which is not the intention. It just runs further. I think I should disengage this motor because it is really hot and I don't know what causes that. These motors are not nearly as hot. So let me cool it down. And this is quite worrisome because it didn't get as hot in the past. Is it the wrong contact or a misinserted contact? It could be. Anyway, this experiment shows that things in the algorithm need to be taken care of, because I haven't tried the hand yet and I should try that as well. So let me try that with the motor, although it is okay, it's not red hot anymore. So let's just try it. But this isn't a good sign either. Okay, yes. Now I hold one finger. And I keep holding it, and now it works. And I try the other finger. The motor shifts. And in the meantime, what is interesting is the shift of the motor. So I keep holding the lowest finger. It is not respond. It does respond electronically anyway. But this is not a very good sign. And it also starts getting warmer. And if you look closely, you see that this I have to shift it completely. So I switch it off manually. I put it on again. So this needs quite some improvement. Yet another issue is the compressor. The compressor itself is good. However, when I put the motor online again, the compressor slows down remarkably. So I hope you can hear that. So in order to compensate things, I need to change the algorithm so that either one or the other works. Also, the point is that the gear is not really functioning correctly. And let me once again help it a little bit. And maybe this helps again. There you go. So the power distribution, you may say, is quite limited. It has only power from the 9 volts the interface gets, and that is the main robo interface, and from that 9 volts everything is being driven. The compressor, the 2 gear motors, the pivot motor, all the sensors. So although it works nicely in itself, this is troublesome as well, that I really need to aid it manually, and even then on screen I can see that sensors are being pressed, but it takes a while, and now you can hear it slow down remarkably, and this far the arm shouldn't even run. So in order to okay, let's stop this. The hand works, the gear works, and the pivot, the up-down pivot gear works, the pivot gear works, but I do think that I do need a second motor to control it all, and safely. So with that I think I have really a challenge to get the pivot working, and that means another motor driven by the same energy. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I need another extension or another power source, which I do have, by the way. I have a power controller which works on 9 volts, and I just might add that. The problem is though that this power controller won't be controlled by the robo interface, so that makes it completely manual. advantage might be that I can take it out of the algorithm and just run the pivot by hand, which is another idea I can do. But I guess I'll save that for next time. And for now I know that the motor is cooling down again, but it is can get quite hot. And with all these conclusions, maybe adding a second pivot motor, I thank you for watching, and certainly to be continued.